Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you find yourselves well today. Thank you for joining me. My name is Lily and look what we have here. In today's video, we are going to flip through my most recently completed junk journal. Did I say that right? I think I did. Okay, so this is a junk journal that I have been working on the last couple weeks, and you've seen it. I've kind of shown you bits and pieces of the journal because I've done a couple other videos. For example, I did a video where we work on this journal topper, and then I also did a video of my embellishing process. And both of those videos, if you've not watched them, I am going to link them down below so that you can take a look at those videos. So yeah, this is one that I have been working on. I love it. I am actually quite surprised at it. I love it as much as I do. Not that I don't love them. Let me rephrase that. It turned out amazing. I love it where I want to keep it. And so some of the journals that I make are actually harder to part with than others, and this is one of those. That is what I meant. It is going to be difficult to part with this one, but I did not make it for me. I made it for someone else, for one of you maybe. It is going to, or it should already be available on my Etsy shop, and I will also have that link down below. So if you want to go and take a peek over there in my Etsy shop, this is there. It was listed this morning, and then I have others in my Etsy shop as well. So that's why it's going to be so hard to part with this one, because it is absolutely gorgeous. And I love the way the dusty rose from the topper coordinates with this gold and yellow. I just love it. To me, it's so romantic looking, a little shabby, a little vintage, and it is amazing. Now, I'm going to unwrap it. This is some ribbon that I received in a Christmas present, and I knew at that very moment that I would be using it for this journal. It is a single signature, and I will have all of those details down below as well, as far as the measurements, and also as far as how many pages are in this journal. So you can just scroll down below under the video, and you can read all of those great details. And I also keep links to the videos, to my Etsy shop, and a lot of other little bits of information for you. So there you go. The cover is fabric, and I repurposed a dinner napkin to make this cover, and there is stitching all around. You see that? And so it is also right here. You can see the binding, and so the ribbon here, this beautiful velvet ribbon, it's not permanently attached to the journal. I kind of threaded it through the binding string, so you could leave it or you can remove it or use it however you wish. But I love how I'm able to wrap it around a few times around the journal. I just love that look. All right. And in the video where I made the topper, I did not get a chance to show you the little tag that I made for the book plate. And so I'm going to zoom in here, or not zoom in, I'm going to bring the journal up closer so you can see what I did. I used a Ranger embossing pen, and then I freehanded the word journal, and then I gold embossed it. Can you see that? And I think it turned out pretty cool. Yeah. And it is glued on there, so it's not movable. However, you can, the book plate is not completely sealed. Like, you can squeeze, if you want to, something in there or even on top. But I think if you leave it with that, it'll be great. I love it. Here's some sari silk that is attached to the stem of this focal point right here. And there's also some Heidi Swapp shine that I sprinkled onto the cover. Yeah, so go watch that video on how I did this, and I share all the details. It's actually a process video from beginning to end, so I show you exactly how I create this, and I do it in under 30 minutes, so go take a look at that. The inside is also fabric lined, and it is a soft cover, you guys. It is soft. There is foam in the center, but it is nice and soft, and it's just, it feels so good in my hands. There is a fabric pocket that has been stitched in to this muslin. It is muslin on the inside. And then here is a pocket that I have embellished with some rosette trim with a couple of journaling spots. So a scrapbook and cut apart that has this beautiful gold foil and the word hope. I love it. And I love how the yellow flowers on the card coordinate with the junk journal. This is a tag that I stamped on mixed media paper. Now, in the previous videos, the tag looked, it looked unfinished. And so I went back and I added this bronze eyelet to it, and then also embellished it with this little heart charm. This is actually a sneak peek to a video that I have coming up in just a few days, so stay tuned for that. And I show you how I make these heart charms. And I just went crazy making heart charms, and that video will be coming up in a couple of days. I believe Wednesday, but keep an eye out for that one. But isn't that just great? I am so happy with the way this looked. Now it looks finished, and sometimes it's just, we just need those little details to add the finishing touches. Okay, I don't want to be out of focus, you guys. Sometimes, you know, it does happen, but I will monitor to make sure that I am focused. Here is a beautiful little journaling card with some gold foil. And this is actually a vintage paper clip. Some little cut apart, some stamping. Throughout the journal, there are avocado dyed pages and coffee dyed pages, as well as vintage papers. This is a journaling card, some fabric trim, some more of that rosette. And I just love the way that looks. It's just so beautiful and soft and pretty. Here is vintage paper that has been stamped. Some of my favorite scrapbooking paper that has been dyed. And this is clothing dye that I used to dye that paper. Here's a corner tuck from scrapbooking paper that has been coffee dyed. And then I took a cut apart from scrapbooking paper and then backed it with some coffee dyed paper. I love this grungy coffee dyed paper. What softens it is this beautiful stamping. And I just love it. I love that look of sweet and pretty against something grungy. I love that look. Here is another heart charm. That's a tongue twister. Let me bring it up so you can see all the little detail there. And again, stay tuned for this video. I loved making these so much, you guys. It is a full process video, start to finish, on how I make these. And I added a little eyelet there and then attached it with a rose gold bulb pen. Isn't that just gorgeous? So I love that. It's one of my, I can honestly tell you that this page right here, this paper is my absolute favorite in the entire book, in the entire journal. Here is a tuck spot with an altered coffee dyed index card. And I've used these before in other junk journals. This is an actual antique stamp that I picked up, or a vintage stamp that I picked up at an antique store. Here are some junk journal little clusters. That is what I call them. And I made these with a bunch of little scraps, and I actually have to make more. So I'm working on a process video on how we do these. And I know you've seen them before, and it's just little random bits and pieces from your scraps that have been attached. And it is not a tuck spot, but I love, it's just a little embellishment on the page. And I think I just love it. Here is a fabric flip, 3 layers on avocado dyed paper and a little bit of that rosette trim there. And let's see here. Am I losing light? It is a cloudy day and the sun is coming and going. And so I hope it is bright enough for you guys. Let's see. Let me fix it. Here we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. Here is some more stamping, some vintage music paper. And I reinforced it with a little bit of washi tape. In the embellishment video, I share where I get these from. So And I love including one in here that coordinates with the journal. I did a little bit of stenciling here. This is coffee dyed school paper, vintage paper that has its own patina, kind of yellowed just with age, and I love that. This is one of the junk journal upcycled envelopes. I do have a video for that. It's an old video, and believe it or not, it is one of my most watched videos on how I repurpose junk mail envelopes. It is coffee dyed, collaged, and the inside is lined with vellum, with printed vellum paper. There is a side pocket, and I tucked in some dyed or stained scrapbooking paper for more journaling. Just tuck that back in there. And then a little bit of collage work with some coffee dyed invoice paper, some stamping, a little bit of washi here, scrapbooking paper, and then there's also a video as to how I make these little envelopes, and I just attached it here to make a tuck spot. You can also pop something into that envelope right there. And there is a butterfly stamp. Let me show you what that looks like, because I think it's pretty cool. I love that butterfly stamp. Can you see that? I love it. And so there it is. Here is some avocado dyed ledger paper with an antique, excuse me, it's not antique, it is vintage. This is a box of vintage paper clips that I found at a thrift store from the mid-50s, I believe, so mid-century. Yeah, those are cool. Here's an altered coffee dyed Rolodex card that I just turned into a little booklet for more journaling. Super cute. And I just attached it right there because it looks super good. So the way I embellish or decorate the journals, I kind of let them speak to me. Does that make sense? Where I go through the pages and I look at the supplies that I have and what I think will coordinate. And if I find something that will look great in the page, then I add it. It has to make sense. It has to look beautiful. And it has to be, what's the word I'm using? Pleasing to the eye. So, and that's what I do. And sometimes even after I embellish it or decorate it, I will go back a couple times and make changes until I am 100% satisfied with the outcome. Let me show you the center. So I attached beads to the center strings of the signature or the binding. And in the embellishment video, I show you how I do these. And these are quartzite stone beads. They do have a little bit of weight to them. They are absolutely gorgeous, you guys. And I love how they look. This one has a little bit of a rose tint, where this one has a little bit of a yellow tint. But together, they look absolutely beautiful. And you can either flip them to the top, where they won't interfere. You can also have them dangle from the bottom. So whatever you desire. This center page is an old Ideal magazine book page, magazine page. The colors here coordinate so nice with the colors throughout this junk journal. This light yellow hue with gold, and the floral image, everything just coordinates so well. So I hope you love it as much as I do. Here is a scrapbooking cut apart journaling card. Now, I'll tell you what I did with this one. The back of the journaling card had this beautiful floral design on it, but it was pretty bright, and I wanted to be able to insert this card here so that it's used for extra journaling, but the pattern was too bright. I took some calligraphy paper and I backed it and layered it over that print. So now you can journal over, but you could still see a little bit of that floral design and that scrapbooking paper come through. I love that idea. And so there we go. I'll be doing a lot more of that. I didn't realize that the calligraphy paper would be so transparent. I actually grabbed it to completely cover the back of this card, but this was a happy accident to see that a little bit of that print underneath is showing through. Here is some fabric trim, and this is leftover fabric from the cover, and I stitched it to create this ruffle look, and then I glued it into this tuck. I added this cute little bulb pin, and let me bring it up so you can see the detail there. And I used a baby gold-plated, is it gold-plated? No, just gold. Faux gold, fake gold. Anyway, it's a little baby clothing pin. And then I attached that charm to it, a little yellow paper rose with the filigree background. I struggled with that pin, didn't I? Okay, here's another envelope for a tuck spot with a journaling card. You can also tuck more goodies behind there. I didn't want to over embellish this because I want to be able, I want for the future recipient of this journal to also embellish and add their own touch to it. And so there are some pockets and some tucks that don't have anything in them. I did that intentionally. Oh, here is the second half of the junk journal envelope. You can see the collage. More collaging here. This is napkin, and this is, these are digitals that I purchased on Etsy. And here is a tag that I made last summer from repurposed packaging, and I called it collage board because I took the big piece of packaging, it's like a cardboard, you know, like cereal box, and then I backed it up with coffee dyed paper, and then I collaged on the front and then cut it down to size to be able to make tags. And so I love these top loading pockets that I use here for this. So there, cool. I like that. Okay. Here's another pocket using another one of those scrap embellishments. So from bits and pieces, a lot of the papers are from my scrap box. And then I also took other items to embellish, tickets, hearts, and some pieces of trim just to further embellish those little clusters here. Vintage music paper. And then calla lilies. This is paper. It's old paper. I want to say it's from the 80s. It was a package of, like this paper was meant for wedding invitations, but I love this calla lily print, so it was perfect for this journal. Here is another tuck spot. Here is a journaling card with the word faith and some gold foil. Here is an avocado dyed scrapbooking paper that I've just folded so that you have more journaling spots. And then a little bit of fabric trim, ruffle trim. Again, the second half of my favorite paper right here. This grungy coffee stained paper with the beautiful rose stamping. Here is an envelope, and I will detach it. I do have a video as to how I make these altered envelopes. They are coffee dyed, and then I distress them with some chalk paint because you know how I love that chippy paint look. And so I just did a little bit of collage work, and then I added some of this faux vintage tape. I have a video on how I make that as well. So yeah, there's nothing in the envelope, but you can always tuck your own goodies in here. So I will attach it to this page again. Look at that. Oops, I don't want to block it with my hand. I'll go this way. Oh, let me show you what I'm attaching it with. So I took this little charm and then added it to the vintage paper clip. Can you see the detail there? The embossing on that little charm. You can also open it and add your very own little pictures in there if you like. But I thought it would be perfect to add as a charm and a dangle right here on this side. Isn't that so cute? I love that detail. And then here is a journaling card. I'll just attach that there. Here is another of these little clusters just for embellishment. Do you want to see some detail there? Let me bring it up. Yeah. Just a little cluster of goodies. And then another journaling card, rosette trim. Here is a corner tuck. This is a Rita Donnelly little corner tuck. I used coffee dyed paper that has a very subtle lace or doily image on it. Very subtle. I gave that a try. I think I like the way it turned out. And I made this little booklet. This was inspired. The inspiration came from an actual little stamp collector's booklet that I picked up at a yard sale last summer, and that inspired me to create this little ephemera booklet using the Tim Holtz die. And then I've added some little cut-aparts, little bits and pieces of things that I have stamped, some tickets, more stamped images here, and then just kind of tucked them into this little booklet. And you can always tuck some more, but there's journaling spot there. But yeah, I love how these turned out. I have a video on how I do these as well. If you ever want to know how I make certain things or the videos that I'm talking about, I'll try to put most of those videos down below in the information area. But if you ask me in the comments, I'm happy to provide you with a link. And you can also, there's also another way to search. And there's a little magnifying glass where you can search for videos within my channel. So you can do that too. Keywords, stamp booklet, ephemera booklet, things like that. Okay. Here is the very last page. This is scrapbooking paper with that lace design and another pocket on the back cover. And I've just put some journaling cards in there with another little cluster. And then here is a journaling card. And then some coffee dyed index card with this definition stamps. I like that. All right, let me know what you guys think. I love this book. I love it so much. And you could see there, again, all of the details, the dimensions, the number of pages and things like that will be down in the description below. Let me know what you think. And don't forget that I have this video coming up in just a few days. So that will be so much fun to watch. I just loved it. One of my favorite projects in a long time. All right. Thank you so much for joining me here. Thank you for taking time out from your day to take the time to watch my video. I appreciate you guys so much. Let me know if you have any questions. If you like the video, please don't hesitate. Give me a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, don't be shy. Leave them in the comments below, whether good or bad. You know, I appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.